Tonight, it is emerging that some of the bodies buried in the suspected mass grave in Kericho were badly mutilated and stacked in sacks. Street boys contracted to dig the grave at Makaburi Public Cemetery in Kericho have recounted how they were approached on Thursday last week. The Kericho Law Court has authorized the exhumation along with the arrest and detention of 2 individuals to assist in the probe. NTV's Ruth Sarmoy-Chesenge reports that human rights groups are urging detectives to expand the investigation to rule out the possibility of other mass graves in the cemetery.
For the second day, hundreds of curious onlookers camped at the Makaburi Public Cemetery in Kericho following reports that 14 bodies had been buried in a mass grave on Friday last week. They were here seeking answers.
Hatujui watu ambao wameletwa hapa ni watu wetu ama
so venye tuko hapa sisi tuko hapa tusudie tuone ya kwamba ni watu wetu wametolewa wameuliwa wamekuja hapa ama ni watu wengine.
The residents expressed their dissatisfaction with the delayed exhumation exercise, which was expected to be conducted today. Kericho Chief Magistrate issued the green light to the government pathologist to oversee the process.
Action haijachukuliwa hadi saizi. Tunashindwa tunaanzia wapi, sababu kisikia kitu kama hiki nafaa kishughulikiwe haraka. Serikali nafikiri na wanafaa watie mkazo pia.
Street families who were contracted by police to dig and bury the bodies last week have opened up on how some of the bodies were mutilated and stacked in sacks and body bags.
Kuja tukapewa hiyo kazi. Hiyo kazi ilikuwa tuchimbe shimo, tukaambiwa there are some people coming to be buried there. Siju tulikuwa after morning tulifanya hiyo kazi. Ikafika mahali tumemaliza, gari ikakuja. Of course it was a GK. So we were not worried to do the job. Kafanya hiyo kazi.
Ni ngori tu kuelezea tu, kuna wenye hata walikuwa tu kwa gunia wameslicewa wametoshelezwa kwa gunia, but ilikuwa gunia tu moja ya watu kadhaa hivi. Sasa hii tukarusha tu kwa shimo, juu tulikuwa futa pesa sisi, tukazika wale wasi. Walikuwa wamefungwa watu tuseme watatu hivi.
The Kericho Law Courts also allowed the detention of Richard Towet alias Ezekiel, the man in charge of the cemetery, and David Makori, an officer from Nyamira, for 30 days to allow the police to conduct investigations. Similarly, the police have been ordered to provide security with the county public health officer required to give health guidelines during the exhumation exercise. Nonetheless, questions continue to mount over the real number of bodies believed to be buried in the grave, since an affidavit from Nyamira Law Courts shows an order approving the disposal of 13 bodies.
a cycle and a memo from the DIG or the IG says the bodies are 14. So there's a discrepancy in terms of 14 and 13. Who is saying the truth? Or where did they get an extra body? Number 2, who counted the bodies that were interred here?
Vocal Africa now wants the DCI to cast their net wider to examine the possibility of more mass graves in the cemetery.
Over the last 1 year or so, we have information from sources that are fairly reliable, indicating that there is a possibility that other mass graves were dug and people were buried within those mass graves. So we are asking the DCI to expand their investigations to cover the entire cemetery.
IPOA and the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights have also been asked to join in the investigations.
That from the witnesses who have shared with us some of the stories, they mentioned government vehicles. Some of them even mentioned police vehicles that might have been involved in this particular case. We cannot rule out anyone to be behind these mass graves.
Witness protection agencies have also been asked to offer security to street families who gave first-hand accounts of the secret burial. Ruth Sarmoy-Chesenge, NTV.